When was the last time you truly stopped? Put down your phone, turned off notifications, just sat there, still, present, aware, thoughtful. Today, the world bombards you relentlessly. Noise, distraction, constant chaos. Stillness has become rare. But those who matter, thinkers, strategists, leaders, know its power. Stillness is a weapon. Buddhists call it upekkha. Muslims call it Islam. Stoics call it apatheia. Different names, same truth, unshakable inner peace. This stillness changes everything. It clears the mind, sparks creativity, quiets anger. It creates space, a vital distance between you and the chaos. And yes, you can learn it. To stand firm, unmoved, even as the world crumbles. No need to wait, no excuses. Start now. Chapter 1, Finding Stillness, Rome, 1st century. Seneca, philosopher, playwright, and statesman, tries to work. Chaos surrounds him. Below his room, a gym. Athletes grunt, weights slam. Outside, dogs bark, vendors shout. The noise is constant, aggressive. Seneca isn't just battling external noise. His finances are shaky. His enemies have pushed him out of politics. Nero, his protector, is losing favor. Not the ideal environment to think, create, or decide. Yet Seneca seeks stillness. His struggle echoes today. Our era is worse. Barking dogs and shouting vendors are joined by phones, engines, planes. Notifications flood in. What to do? Seneca found the answer: embrace silence. What is stillness? It's that moment of total focus when clarity strikes. It's months of practice for a perfect performance. It's watching a sunrise, feeling life. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke said it: in stillness we are whole. Chaos fades. Stillness isn't optional, it's essential. Seneca found stillness. He silenced the noise, both outside and within. In a chaotic world, he wrote essays that shaped millions of lives. He knew inner peace was the foundation of thought, work, and a decent life, even in war. Stillness transcends time. Philosophers and religions have embraced it in countless forms. Calm, no destructive passion, just equanimity, stillness in crisis. On October 15, 1962, John F. Kennedy wakes to a world on the brink. Overnight, the CIA discovers Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 100 miles from Florida. What was a distant threat is now immediate. Nuclear war is possible. The pressure is crushing. If things escalate, the toll could be monstrous. 70 million dead in the first strikes. Kennedy's advisors push for action. Bomb the missiles. Destroy them before it's too late. Kennedy refuses. Striking back could trigger total nuclear war. For 13 days, tension peaks. Every decision could tip the scales. Kennedy holds firm. He stays calm, cold, and clear. He listens, thinks, and acts with precision. His composure saves millions. Without it, this crisis might have been called World War III, or worse, gone unnamed, because no one would have survived to remember it. Kennedy chose stillness over panic. Next time pressure mounts, do the same. Act with clarity, not stress. Here's how. 1. Resist instinct. Kennedy didn't order immediate strikes. He refused to react impulsively. 2. Slow down. He took time to think. He swam in the White House pool to clear his mind. He sought silence in the Rose Garden. Every pause was strategic. 3. Give the opponent time. Instead of rushing, Kennedy announced a blockade, not to end things quickly, but to give Khrushchev time to think. The strategy worked. 11 days later, Khrushchev reached out. Without wisdom, our nations will destroy each other, he wrote. The crisis ended. Negotiations began. Kennedy saved the world not through force, but through stillness. He didn't respond to aggression with aggression. He took time to think. That made all the difference. Stillness in art. In 2010, at New York's Museum of Modern Art, Marina Abramovich turned stillness into raw power. For 750 hours, over 79 days, she sat silently, facing an empty chair. Visitors could sit across from her, one by one. Over 1,500 did, each time Marina lowered her gaze. Then slowly she looked up, locking eyes with her guest, fully present, fully focused. She couldn't afford a single mistake, no daydreaming, no fatigue. Every second of distraction would ruin the experience. So she stayed anchored in the moment. The result? Powerful. Many wept under the weight of her absolute presence. Why? Because almost no one lives in the present. We flee it, we skim it, we replace it with distraction. At sunset, we pull out our phones. During a quiet evening, we're already thinking about tomorrow. Even facing Marina, some stared at their screens. But fleeing the present has a cost. The present is all you have. If you're not in it, life slips through your fingers. True artists don't flee, they stay, fully, completely, here and now. Stillness in writing. On June 12, 1942, Anne Frank opens her diary for the first time. She wants to confide in it, find comfort. The next day, her family goes into hiding from the Nazis. She keeps writing. Every word becomes a mirror, a tool to understand herself, to observe with distance. Writing is baring your soul, seeing your mistakes, grabbing the truth unfiltered. Anne understood this. So did Seneca. Every night, the Stoic philosopher reviewed his day. No filters, no excuses. He wrote everything, even the hard truths, especially those. Why? To do better. Every day. How to start. It doesn't matter how, when, or where. What matters is action. Create a moment of stillness. Write down what's eating you. No fluff. Just you and the truth, black on white. Morning, evening, 5 minutes on the train. It doesn't matter. This small moment could be the most important of your day. Stillness in noise. Life is a cacophony. Phones ring, notifications ping. Headphones replace one noise with another. On a plane, trapped, we see our addiction to noise. Bad movies, endless podcasts, anything but silence. Anything but facing our own thoughts. Why surrender our minds to distraction? Silence offers more, much more. John Cage, the composer, understood this. Fascinated by silence since 1928, he proposed a national day of silence, a radical idea. His piece, 4 minutes, 33 seconds, is the culmination. 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. No instruments, no sounds, just the noise of existence. Silence isn't emptiness, it's presence, a force. Cage proved it. The choice is yours. Drown your mind in noise or master it through silence. Stillness in excess. In June 2008, Tiger Woods wins the US Open after an 18-hole playoff. His 14th major victory. A historic performance. He wins with a broken leg. 2 fractures. Nothing stops him. That day marks the peak of his career. Then, everything collapses. For 21 days, the New York Post exposes his double life. Affairs with porn stars, waitresses, meetings in church parking lots, young women, family friends. His secret life exposed. Woods doesn't win for 10 years. Thich Nhat Hanh said it. The ocean's surface may seem calm, but the currents beneath are powerful. Woods, known for his calm under pressure, was torn apart by invisible forces. His upbringing explains it. His father, knowing golf required a cool head, deliberately disrupted him. Racial slurs, mockery, anything to test his focus. His mother threatened to beat him if he tarnished their reputation. Woods admits it. He was raised to be a cold-blooded killer on the course. It worked until it exploded. His upbringing forged a champion, but it also carved a flaw in him, a troubled soul. That flaw drove him to betray his family, to to lose himself in empty, dishonest, unsatisfying affairs. Later, Woods admitted constant lying makes life hollow, joyless. His story proves one thing: pursuing a goal at all costs is worthless if it destroys your soul along the way. Stillness is a tool. It makes you effective, powerful. But what's the point of dominating in business or sports if, in your personal life, you're a raging bull instead of a serene monk? True happiness comes from inner stillness, not trophies, not victories. A soul at peace, stillness in desire. John F. Kennedy, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, didn't always embody stillness. At a critical moment, as U.S. and Soviet forces teetered on the edge of war, he met a 19-year-old student in a hotel near the White House. The most powerful man in the world, distracted by desire, almost lost everything. But before judging, look at yourself. How many of your actions are driven by desire? A beautiful person, power, the latest iPhone, money. The list is endless. Desire is a force. But too much desire, especially for superficial things, makes satisfaction impossible. Every desire has a cost. Epicurus had a method. Before giving in to a desire, he asked, "How will I feel after getting it?" This question shatters the illusion. It reveals the hangover behind the high, the guilt behind the thrill. True stillness requires knowing when to stop, when to say no, when enough is enough. Stillness in enough. Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller at a billionaire's party. Vonnegut asked Heller, "How do you feel knowing our host made more today than your book, Catch-22, earned in a lifetime?" Heller replies, "I have something he'll never have, the knowledge of enough." Heller was satisfied. He had achieved what he wanted. This acceptance of enough is freeing. It kills the need for more. It ends comparison. When the desire for more grips you, remember Heller. Enough. After this statement, Heller wrote 6 more novels. Not to prove anything, not to compete. A journalist once criticized him for never writing anything as good as Catch-22. Heller replied calmly, "Who has?" Stillness comes from acceptance, not conquest. Stillness in nature. In Japan, there's a concept, Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing, a therapy that uses nature to calm the mind. Kennedy, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, found stillness in the White House Rose Garden. But not everyone has access to a forest. You might live in a city. Nature feels distant, yet beauty is everywhere. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, understood this. Often seen as grim, he sought beauty in the ordinary. He saw beauty in bread cracking as it bakes, in a ripe olive falling from a tree, grateful for the life it lived. Beauty isn't reserved for grand landscapes. It's in the details, in the everyday. Take inspiration from Marcus Aurelius, from Kennedy. Open your eyes. Beauty is there. So is stillness. Take a moment, look. Stillness is rare, but it exists. An endless reserve within sight, stillness in action. Winston Churchill lived a relentless life. At 26, he entered the British Parliament. He served in government for 6.5 decades. As Prime Minister during the war, he helped crush Nazism. He wrote over 40 books, delivered over 2,000 speeches, a life overflowing. Yet, Churchill embodied stillness. His method? Caring for his body. Even in a packed existence, he found peace through physical activity. Stillness isn't inaction, it's discipline. Churchill proved it. Churchill loved bricklaying, an unusual hobby for a man of his stature. He learned from 2 of his employees at Chartwell. The process captivated him, mixing mortar, applying it, stacking bricks. In 1927, he wrote to Stanley Baldwin, "A productive month." As a minister, he wrote 2,000 words a day and laid 200 bricks. His daughter, Mary, said bricklaying and painting weren't just hobbies. They were his weapons against depression. These activities gave him an intellectual and physical escape. To achieve even a fraction of his productivity, cultivating mind and body is essential. Hobbies aren't distractions. They forge powerful minds. Great figures in history understood this. Great artists slept more than the mediocre. It's not just physiology. Knowing your limits, stopping, sleeping, it's essential. Moderation leads to stillness. Too many overdo it. Take Prince Albert, Victoria's husband. He took his role as prince consort to the extreme. Meetings, social obligations, a frenetic pace. He sacrificed years organizing the Great Exhibition of 1851, a showcase of the British Empire. At its opening, he confessed to his family he felt more dead than alive. The event was a success, but Albert's health never recovered. At his death in 1861, his doctors concluded that constant overwork had severely damaged his health. He had literally worked himself to death. Many of us today think there's always something to do. We tell ourselves we must answer that email, join that last-minute business trip out of state. Listen, we won't. Just stop. Be present. Know your limits. Embrace moderation. Protect the gift that is your body. If you care for your physical health, your mind, and your spirit, you can cultivate stillness. You can feel its power in your life. So slow things down, calm things down. The silence is there. Wait for it. Stillness is the key. Stay calm. Be present. Cultivate silence. Think deeply. Write. Find beauty. Walk in the forest. Know your limits. Have a hobby. Care for your body. Sleep. Move. Final advice. Get rid of the excess. We're born with nothing. Then we accumulate. What do we really need? A rich life is made of people and experiences, not objects. Grab trash bags. Make space. Free your mind. Make room for stillness.